Apposition is a grammatical construction in which two elements, normally noun phrases, are placed side by side, with one element serving to identify the other in a different way. The two elements are said to be in apposition. One of the elements is called the appositive, although its identification requires consideration of how the elements are used in a sentence. For example, in the two sentences below, the phrases Alice Smith and my sister are in apposition, with the appositive identified with italics. My sister, Alice Smith, likes jelly beans. Alice Smith, my sister, likes jelly beans. Traditionally, appositions were called by their Latin name appositio, although the English form is now more commonly used. It is derived from Latin, ad and positio. Apposition is a figure of speech of the scheme type, and often results when the verbs in supporting clauses are eliminated to produce shorter descriptive phrases. This makes them often function as hyperbatons, or figures of disorder, because they can disrupt the flow of a sentence. For example, in the phrase, my wife, a nurse by training, it is necessary to pause before the parenthetical modification in nurse by training. Restrictive versus non-restrictive. A restrictive appositive provides information essential to identifying the phrase in apposition. It limits or clarifies that phrase in some crucial way, and the meaning of the sentence would change if the appositive were removed. In English, restrictive appositives are not set off by commas. The sentences below use restrictive appositives. Here and elsewhere in this section, the relevant phrases are marked as the appositive phrase A or the phrase in apposition P. My friend P. Alice Smith A. likes jelly beans. I have many friends, but I am restricting my statement to the one named Alice Smith. He likes the television show P. The Simpsons A. There are many television shows, and he likes that particular one. A non-restrictive appositive provides information not critical to identifying the phrase in apposition. It provides non-essential information, and the essential meaning of the sentence would not change if the appositive were removed. In English, non-restrictive appositives are typically set off by commas. The sentences below use non-restrictive appositives. Alice Smith P., my friend A., likes jelly beans. The fact that Alice is my friend was not necessary to identify her. I visited Canada P., a beautiful country A. The appositive is not needed to identify Canada. The first to arrive at the house A, she P. unlocked the front door. The same phrase can be a restrictive appositive in one context and a non-restrictive appositive in another. My brother P. Nathan A. is here. Restrictive, I have many brothers, and the one named Nathan is here. My brother P. Nathan A. is here. Non-restrictive, I have only one brother and, as an aside, his name is Nathan. If there is any doubt that the appositive is non-restrictive, it is safer to use the restrictive form. In the example above, the restrictive first sentence is still correct even if there is only one brother. A relative clause is not always an appositive. My sister P., Alice Smith A., likes jelly beans. The appositive is the noun phrase Alice Smith. My sister P., a doctor whose name is Alice Smith A., likes jelly beans. The appositive is the clause a doctor whose name is Alice Smith. My sister, whose name is Alice Smith, likes jelly beans. There is no appositive. There is a relative clause, whose name is Alice Smith. Examples: in the following examples, the appositive phrases are shown in italics. I was born in Finland, the land of 1,000 lakes. Appositives are not limited to describing people. Barry Goldwater, the junior senator from Arizona, received the Republican nomination in 1964. John and Bob, both friends of mine, are starting a band. Alexander the Great, the Macedonian conqueror of Persia, was one of the most successful military commanders of the ancient world. Dean Martin, a very popular singer, will be performing at the Sands Hotel. You are better than anyone I've ever met. A kind of appositive phrase is the false title, as in noted biologist Jane Smith has arrived, where the phrase noted biologist is used as an informal title. The use of false titles is controversial. Appositive phrases can also serve as definitions. No one not a single person should ever suffer that way. You are simply the best, better than all the rest. Appositive genitive, in several languages, the same syntax that is used to express such relations as possession can also be used appositively. Examples include, in English, appositive oblique, a prepositional phrase with of as in, the month of December, the sin of pride, or the city of New York. This has also been invoked as an explanation for the double genitive, a friend of mine. The ending s as in Dublin's fair city. This is uncommon. In Classical Greek, genitive of explanation as in a 1/2 or 1/2 I 1/4 I cubed I plus or minus I 1/4 I plus or minus, a monster of a ball. In Japanese, postpositive no as in, a micro a registered trademark a plus or minus, the mountain of Fuji. In Biblical Hebrew, construct, genitive of association as in, o 1/4 y micron o paragraph y, Garden of Eden. See also, figure of speech, hyperbaton, literary device. Notes. References. A comprehensive treatment of apposition in English is given in a millisecond section 17.65 €93 and elsewhere in, Randolph Quirk, Sidney Greenbaum, Jeffrey Leach, Jan Svartvik. A Comprehensive Grammar of the English Language. London and New York, Longman. ISBN 0-582-51734-6. On the apposition versus double subject issue in Romanian, see, Appositions versus double subject sentences What information a speech analysis brings to a grammar debate, by Horia Nicolai Teodorescu and Diana Trandaba Florin Pound. In, Lecture Notes in Computer Science, Springer Berlin, Heidelberg, ISSN 0302-9743, Volume 4629/2007, Text. Speech and Dialogue, pages 286–293. External links, Allen and Greenough's New Latin Grammar, A section 282, Audio illustrations, Appositives at chumpcomp.com, Apposition and double subject in Romanian a controversial issue in Sounds of the Romanian Language, Purdue OWL, Appositives, Appositions versus double subject sentences What information a speech analysis brings to a grammar debate.